Tuesday, January 26th, 2021. Here we are with Kristi Nova, aka KrstieGotJokes. And I am your sole host today, Brad Wheeler. If you want to know more information about Kristi, type !Kristi in chat. If you want to know more about me, you can type Daddy-O in chat. I think it's probably about 50-50 here. I think about half the people in chat came from your raid, and about half are here from half my people, which is perfect. What better way to introduce our communities, right?
Look at us.
But look at us. I hope you had a good stream. I appreciate you sending the raid over. Oh, and thank you so much for that follow, Fresh Delivery. But let's talk a little bit quickly about just how we met and how actually we haven't technically met. You are you're a streamer here, and I got introduced to you through our mutual friend, Dr. D69. I was the original Dr. D. I've known him for, I can't even remember how many years, 20 years. And he's really the guy who told me about Twitch. I didn't know what it was. I want to have him on the show sometime. So how long have you known him?
I have known him, what year is it? 21?
This is 2021.
I've known him for 16 years, I think.
Wow, so almost, wow, isn't that amazing? We've both
I don't know how
the same...
we've never met.
That's
how
incredible.
have we Are you sure that we haven't met like a long time ago? I feel like we might have.
It's possible. Maybe at a party. Did you ever go to any parties at Cloverdale? Thank you so much for that stuff, Flesh Delivery.
Cloverdale. Where's Cloverdale?
With like Birdo, and do you know Birdo?
Yeah, I know Birdo.
Oh
I know,
you know Lucas and Martin.
Lucas.
Oh my gosh. Then
Martin.
we probably, have you ever been to any of the beer croquets?
I've never been to a beer. Okay, so do you know Brett?
That doesn't sound super
He's
familiar.
been to the beer. He's my ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
And so around that time when beer croquets started, or maybe like when the group's like, I don't know if you've met Matt and Amy. Those are my best friends. They hang out with Doc a lot. Anyways, the beer croquets were happening and he was going to them. And so at the time, because we didn't have a really great breakup, and he was still in the group, I ended up not going to any of those. Actually, I ended up not being invited because it was...
I see.
Yeah. He was one of the soccer guys, so it made sense that he went because that was kind of the whole group. So no hard feelings now.
Right.
That was in like 2006, 2007. So a long time ago.
Well, how fun is it that after all these years, you and I finally get to meet? And soon, I'm 100% sure it will be in person. We'll make it happen.
Yes, definitely.
We'll make it happen. When it's safe, we'll do it.
Yes, I know.
I think it'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, I appreciate the caution because, I know you were just in Las Vegas, and I'm going to be in Las Vegas next week. There's a whole bunch of us going from the community. So there's about, I don't even know how many.
So you're doing the same thing.
Yeah, but it might. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it started off small, but then it grew a bit. So I don't even know the number. It's at least I'm thinking like maybe 10.
Are you I'm gonna ask. Never mind. Continue.
Yeah, so I'm going. So I have a great friend, a great coworker who's a super smart guy. He's a software developer, and he does a lot of work for my stream. He created my like Tetris League thing and the website. Like I have a Daddy-O.TV website, and we have a TellMeMoreShow.com website. And if you go there, you can, or if you go to TellMeMoreShow.com, whatever. Right now, don't, because it's nothing. It's right now it's just a frame, and there's just like one picture on there. But as of tomorrow, Lex is gonna spend a lot of time working on it, and so basically he helps a lot in that way. And he'll never accept payment. So I said, okay, I'm gonna take you to Vegas. You can't say no. That's my payment.
Oh, cool.
So I got him a room. I got my own room. So I bought his ticket to fly. I bought his room, and he's never been to Vegas. So I'm taking him. That was my payment to him. But it's turned into a bit of a thing. So now Line Piece Lex, my co-host of this show, is going, and she's also taking her best friend. And there's a Boss 99 who are going to be our guest on Thursday. Is not even of age. I think he's 19 or 18, and I can't remember. Sorry, boss. And he's going to be going to Vegas. So it's going to be pretty awesome. So we're going to do the first night. I'm going to go downtown.
Yes.
We're going to do downtown, and then we're going to do, there's like a gaming studio there that has Twitch streaming. So we're going to stream from there one night and do some Tetris, and then we're going to watch the Super Bowl from Vegas. So that should be really fun. Yeah. So that'll be fun. That
sounds like fun.
But
are you going to be streaming?
We will stream a bit.
Be live streaming it?
Yeah, so we'll definitely stream Tetris from Press Start Gaming. We're going to do a live stream from there, and we're also going to make some big announcements. So I'm hoping to make some big announcements for the show in Vegas. Like, why not? Right? Why not make it a big thing? Since Lex and I are going to be together. Lex and I are going to meet for the first time. That's going to be pretty cool.
Nice.
But so we're going to try and do some big events there, but we definitely will not stream the whole thing. But I think why not take the opportunity to do that? But you know what, Kristi, I feel guilty here because I've been sitting over here rambling. I'm just doing an intro here because what I want this show to be is all about you. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a layup here for, hey, let's talk about Vegas. So I'm going to turn the show over here to you, and you tell us about you. Tell us about your Vegas trip, and let's hear about it.
Okay. First, where are you staying? That was the last question.
Oh, perfect. So I am staying at Lex. Where you're staying? I can't remember because it's changed a bit. I think I'm staying at Excalibur, and then Lex is staying at New York, I believe, and then we have someone else staying at MGM. So no one is staying in the same place, but we're all kind of close by. Where did you stay? Where did you stay?
We stayed at the Cosmopolitan.
Luxor.
But I also had a hookup, and because we were going to stream and we were going to live stream. So let me start over.
Yeah.
I'll start from the beginning.
Yay.
So I feel like this is all gonna blend in at the end anyways.
Start where you want to start. I'm not a very good host. I usually have a host who okay, you know what? Tell me about your childhood.
Well, I was born on this day. No, I'm just kidding. So basically, through streaming, I was on the Andy Milonakis Adopt an Affiliate show. We can talk more about that later. But I was out first round. Again, we can talk more about that later. I was one of the first people out of my episode 5. But then afterwards, there was like an after show where we got to meet other cast members, and then they created this like Adopt an Affiliate family, and we have like our own Discord, and so we like talk, we hang out, all that other stuff. That's kind of been a more recent thing. But basically, we all started having marketing meetings together. Archie TV, who was on episode 1, he's amazing. He came in second on episode 1. Him and another guy, Hondos Element, helped Andy Milonakis move from Austin to New York. And so Archie had a RV, and he brought his RV, and he took Andy to New York, and then he had to come back to Texas to bring Hondos back home. And then he was on his way to Vegas. So I hit him up because we had been talking a lot, and I said, hey, I just got out of a really crappy relationship. I need an adventure. I want to put myself out there. I want to learn more about live streaming, because he was live streaming this entire trip. He was live streaming the whole place where he was going. So yeah, basically I
just realized people could see my eyes and the shock in them. The story sounds familiar, Kristi. Sorry.
So he ended up coming and picking me up, and I ended up going to Vegas with him. We drove all the way. It was a hell of a drive. It always is. It's a long drive from Texas to Vegas. It's a long drive.
Indeed, I've made it twice.
It's a tough one, but it's totally worth it. And I got to fly home. I used my hookup. We got a bungalow suite at the Cosmopolitan, which is on the pool level. Jesus. It's a 3-story amazing room where you have like a bathroom, a kitchen, and a living area. And then the second story is the huge, amazing bathroom that overlooks the Bellagio fountains and the Strip. And then you have the bedroom on the other side. And then the third floor is a patio that overlooks the fountains. And then on the other side is a freaking private hot tub that overlooks the other side of the Strip. And let me just say, every single night that we were in that room, I stayed up until the sun came up. And I was just hanging out in that hot tub for hours. But yeah, it was fun. It was a great place. Like we live streamed and we played hide and seek in the room, which was great content. People loved watching us play hide and seek in a Vegas suite. So yeah, that was the Vegas trip. And then I went and stayed. So anyways, we met a bunch of other Adopt and Affiliate.
I was just waiting to hit clip. That was freaking incredible, Kristi. I wasn't talking forever. I can clip you. Dang, that was good content.
What happened?
That was just good. The way you described that, I freaking want to upgrade now, man. I was just waiting for you to stop your sales pitch so I could clip it to send that to Aaron. Lex, why are you asking me to upgrade us? You're talking to the wrong dad. Send that clip to Aaron. He's the one that can make it happen. Sorry,
I
Kristi.
would highly suggest
that was fantastic.
Cosmopolitan is great. But I will say, I'm not supposed to say this on air. I'll tell you the issue we had off air. I'm not allowed to say on air. But I will tell you the issue we had off air. Because that might change your mind. But anyways, it was a really, really fun time. We met I met Thy Other Side, who was also a cast member from my show, and a few others from the show. So we just have our own little streamer group. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. We live streamed on the Strip and in the hot tub and everywhere.
Oh my God. I can't believe I missed it. You know, I can't remember what I was doing. I think I was with my family that weekend. I'm with my family a lot. You know, it's a little bit of a chat. You know, I have a full-time job. I have a full-time job. And I have a full-time job.
Dad.
And then I gotta
married,
I do this a couple nights a week. It's like hard for me to find the time to like commit to, and that's a little bit of a problem because people get offended that you can't spend time with them. You know what I mean? As a streamer.
Right.
And just to derail it for just 1 second, if you don't mind.
No.
I feel like a lot of newer streamers, maybe you can talk to us about this, because I would love to hear your take on it. How did you get past, because I feel like every streamer, maybe not, maybe every streamer I know, because I went through it and I notice it. When you first start out, you're really nervous about it. You're like, you're nervous about everything, but you still have the jittery, and it takes a while to get over it, right? But eventually you do. But then eventually I think you run into, you go down because you're like, well, why the hell isn't anybody watching me? And it becomes a problem, and it gets in your head. And then I think a lot of people quit because it's for whatever reason. And then some people come back. But I kind of feel like that is a life cycle that I've seen a lot of people go through. But maybe it's not quitting. Maybe it's threatening to quit, but then they come right back. Or I can't tell you how many people I know that have said I'm done, but then they're back. You know, sometimes it's within hours, sometimes it's within days, or even weeks.
Hours? That's hilarious.
Sometimes.
I'm done. No, I can't stay away.
And it's not a negative thing. It's just an emotional thing. It's just because it's a little bit of an emotional roller coaster. And how do you? Because just to give you a little bit of intro here. When I first met you, you were smaller than me. You had less followers than I did. I think we were both around 100 or so. I was like 120 and you were maybe 100. And then now I'm about 400 and you're about 1,500. So you've obviously taken it super seriously and can teach us a lot about that streamer life cycle. So there you go. There's your intro.
Another setup to an awesome story. So I will say I'm a little different than anyone else that starts because I'm a stand-up comedian.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I put myself out on a stage telling jokes that I've written for myself that I don't even know if they're funny. I don't know if anyone's gonna laugh. I bomb. You know, sometimes I have great shows, but let's be honest, when we go to open mics, there's like 1 or 2 people in the audience. So you're gonna bomb because there's nobody there. Right. So for me, Twitch was a walk in the park because I didn't have to worry about looking at people's faces. I didn't have to, it was definitely, uh, even for somebody that's used to going and performing all the time, it was definitely different
Mm.
because you're sitting there, you don't have anyone other than chat to hold a conversation with, and when you begin, you don't have anybody in your chat. So you have to come up with like weird ways to, I just talked to people like they were going to be watching my VOD later,
Smart. Smart.
yeah, because that is a video that's going to stay on your page for a couple weeks. So why not act like you have people there, even if you don't? I did feel
Right.
like a crazy person, and there were a couple times where I'm like, look, I might be crazy because there's really nobody here right now, but I'm not going to act like that,
Right.
keep going with my thing. I think doing Jackbox started my growth really well. I always wanted to do this kind of play games with chat thing. So I always play things that chat can always participate in.
Mm.
And I really, there for a while, like I wanted to be just a Jackbox streamer, and that was it. And what I can say for new people starting out, choose a platform that is not oversaturated.
Mm.
Like, don't go think you're going to play Fortnite or, Among Us is a little different. Because everyone wants to play the game, but like Fortnite, Destiny, Rust, all these games, don't go in there thinking that you're gonna stream and people are gonna watch you, because there's already people that are established in these games.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go to something like Jackbox, they're looking for somebody who's a host. They're looking for
Right.
somebody who is entertaining. So it's more about the experience than the game you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's 50-50, but so that would be my suggestion to anyone that's trying to figure out where to start. I actually had a friend who was streaming here and there, and she was really frustrated, and then she saw that I was doing Jackbox, and I was like, yeah, try Jackbox, and she did, and boom, that's when she started actually getting, making some traction. The other thing that really helps is consistency. I try to stream, and I wasn't as consistent towards the end of the year and the beginning of the year, just because I had a lot of stuff going on, but I try to stream 5 days a week at the minimum.
Wow.
And when I'm streaming 5 days a week, I'm streaming at least 5 hours.
Mm.
That way my audience knows when I'm coming on. They know I'm going to be there for a while. They know they know the schedule, what we're doing.
Yeah.
So they're excited. They're waiting for me so that we can hang out again. That really, really helps, is just to have like a consistent schedule. And then for growing, Daddy-O, the only reason why I'm at 1,500 is because I was on the Andy Milanakis show, and our links are getting blasted like crazy, and people are going and they're following. I gained at least 1,000 followers like that from being on the show.
Wow.
And then you add going to Vegas and live streaming with all of these other streamers that were on the show.
Yeah.
We're mixing all of our communities together. We have like 50 people, maybe like 40 people, and we're all mixing our communities together. So that also helps,
I love it. That's great. Yeah, it's all about relationships. And I was just I spent a lot of time talking about community and the importance of relationships and a lot of that. And that's encouraging to hear that it was not really a secret. There's no real secret to it. It's the putting in the effort, making sure the content is good, and building relationships.
And I think for you, like, I feel like you do so well because not only are you freaking Tetris genius, but you have some amazing things that you do with your stream that a lot of people don't put that effort into. So, I feel like because I think there for a while you took like a really big break.
Yeah, so for me, so for me, streaming up until January 1st, 2021, it was just a hobby. It was something that I would do 2 hours a week on Thursday. For Thursday nights from 7 to 9, I would host a little thing. That's it. That's all it was. And the fact that I have 400 followers, like, I think is like pretty amazing.
Yeah, I think you're doing amazing. If you had the time to do the schedule like I was, you'd be right up there with me, hands down.
Right. Well, thank you, Christy. I appreciate that. But I've always admired your, and I think I've told you that from one of the first times I went to your stream. I was like, oh, the way your green screen stuff, like your transitions, like you can tell, you take it seriously. You had less than 100 followers, and yet you looked like you had 1,000. I think that's always an important thing. I think you always want to look bigger than you are.
Right. I definitely
Same
wanted to
as
look professional.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to look like, oh, okay, this girl kind of knows what she's doing, you know. And I'm a video editor as a regular job. So video editor, graphic designer. I was a podcast producer at a company before I quit it because I hated that job. And you know, it's really hard to produce other people's podcasts when some of those people, like, they were just paying money to have podcasts. They shouldn't have a podcast, but I should have a pod. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I have a show. This person shouldn't have a show. Why am I producing this person's show when I can produce my own show? So I quit, and then I found out about Twitch because of my ex-boyfriend saying, hey, I'm kind of like, I'm a little much at home when I'm stuck inside for COVID, guys. And you know, when my ex was living with me, I would put on a one-man show all the time. It doesn't turn off, like, ever. And that's just who I am. Like, I like attention, and I'm really, really hyper. And so he was like, hey, I can't take your one-man show anymore. You should try this thing called Twitch. And like, oh, okay. And I did. So
I love it. I do. I love it. I feel like we should be better friends, Christy.
Yes. Definitely.
We're working on it.
We have all the same friends, apparently.
I know, and that is so funny. Okay, so you were a guest on the Andy. You want to talk a little bit about that now, or?
Yeah.
Let's talk about all the different things that you've done on Twitch. So how'd you, what the different things you've been a part of?
So many things. Let's see. I think the first big thing that I was a part of was the Andy Milanaka show. I watched Andy Milanakis a lot because, you know, I like the guy. I think he's funny. I think he's different, and I don't know. He's just a really good streamer. He's been doing it forever, and, you know, he's extremely successful at it. So he started a show called Adopt an Affiliate, where he wanted to help affiliates get more exposure so that they could get closer to being partner. So I applied for the show. First episode happened. I didn't hear anything. Second episode, third episode. And I'm sitting over here like, oh gosh, I hope all of my stuff's good enough. Like, I hope I filled out the application correctly. I wanted on this show like nothing else. Mm-hmm. I wanted the opportunity to meet Andy and just to see where this opportunity could possibly take me. Look, it could have led me nowhere, but even if it led me nowhere, at least I tried. You know, you never know what you're going to get out of an experience. So I'm waiting. The third episode comes by, and I'm like, all right, well, hopefully I don't hear anything for a couple of weeks because I'm going to Florida. And as we're on our way to Florida, I get contacted, and they're like, hey, do you want to be on episode 4? And I'm like, oh, I can't. Like, I'm in Florida. I don't have my setup. There's no way that this is going to be able to work. Can you please put me on the next episode? And they're like, we'll see. We don't know what the lineup's going to be like yet. And I'm sitting over here like gut-wrenching, like kind of sick to my stomach. Like, did I just blow my one chance at making it on the show? I was like, but luckily that next week I heard from them, and they were like, yeah, let's have you on episode 5, which I'm so glad, because episode 4, oh my gosh, there were so many good people. A guy named Black Mario, he's amazing. I've seen his channel before I even saw the show, so when I saw he was on it, I was like, oh, thank God I'm not on episode 4. There's a guy named Ababox, amazing comedian, super weird in the best ways possible. It was definitely a comedian ran episode. And the one thing that I'm sad about not being able to be on that episode was Casey Tron was the guest judge. I don't know if you guys know Casey Tron. If you are really into Twitch, Casey Tron is one of the bigger streamers. She's in all that Austin show drama and Gondok and all that kind of, she's in that group. So I would have loved to meet Casey Tron. I think Casey would have loved me. I think we would have hit it off really well. Because we're
Mm.
very, very similar. I like her a lot. Um, so anyways, I get on episode 5
Mm-hmm.
and I'm so excited. Am I having
Yeah, I
internet
saw it.
problems?
No, you're good. I was there. You're
Okay.
looking good. But speak of the devil, I was there for that episode. I saw it. Looks like I might be
Yes.
having it. It looks like I might be having internet problems. Mine is just turning red, but let's.
Okay. I was
But it's
worried
okay. It
about
doesn't.
me.
It's good because I'm recording it, so don't worry. It's just going. It's going to YouTube, so we're all good.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep.
So yeah, speaking of problems.
Yeah, I know,
internet
right?
problems. So episode 5 happens. And here's the thing. Right before, like the week before, I was trying to figure out how I was gonna have my background because when I got my green screen, I moved my desk over here against like a closet door, and I never showed my background. I just showed my green screen. So I never had like a just chatting setup where I had the lights in the
Yep.
back or anything like
Yep.
that. So I was like, oh, I need to move it. So I
Yeah.
moved my desk. I moved it this way, set everything up behind me. My Ethernet cable breaks in the process of moving. And so I'm like, I need to get a new one. And I think it was the day before. And I was like, I need to try and get a new one. I need to go to the store. It was late at night. I didn't know what the heck I was going to do. And I tried to order one in time. It didn't come in time. It was so freaking embarrassing. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm just going to run off the Wi-Fi. It'll be fine. I have never had any problems before. Famous last words. I don't restart my computer before I even go on the show, which was super dumb of me. I go into this Zoom call. We're all hanging out. And I'm realizing that I'm lagging so bad. And instead of leaving immediately and going to fix it and coming back, I wait until Andy gets to me. And he's trying to talk to me, and he's like, "Hey, Christy got jokes. So I bet you get asked to tell jokes a lot lately, huh?" And I go to try to say something, and I'm so delayed. They can't even hear me. Totally ruined my shot, honestly. Like, it was the worst first impression ever. So I sign out. I come back in. Fine after that, of course. I got to answer my questions. I felt I did really well, kind of like this, just being myself, talking, all that stuff. It gets to the vote. And it comes down to me and this guy named Shoot Your Shot. By one vote, Shoot Your Shot goes through and I'm out. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm the first one out. I didn't think that was going to happen. I was like, holy crap, I barely got any time. Well, I mean, I got like 2 hours with Andy. So yeah, I got some time with Andy, but I didn't even the guest judge didn't even get to see my stuff. I was so bummed. Like, I got off the freaking thing and I cried. Like, I cried so bad. I was so bummed. I just wanted feedback on my stream, my content. I wanted to hear what a bigger streamer had to say, and I didn't get the opportunity. But Shoot Your Shot ended up getting second place in that episode to Sebi Webs, and guess how many votes that was by? One vote determined that winner. So he almost got out in the first one. Look, anything could have happened. Right. Anything could have happened. Like, it just happens the way that it does. But the Annie Milanaka show, if you are an up-and-coming streamer, if you're somebody who's putting 20 more hours a week, they're about to do season 2. They're in talks with Twitch right now. Twitch might syndicate the show, which is freaking huge. So, Twitch gets on board with it, it's gonna blow up. So if there's anyone out there that wants an opportunity like that, definitely go apply. Second season should be starting in February.
Wow, look at that. Nice.
But yeah, so, and now I'm part of the AAA fam, and we're gonna get a streamer house, freaking Airbnb like mansion, and we're gonna stream from that for like a week. We were gonna do it in March, but because of COVID, we might have to wait till like end of summer.
So you're renting a place for a week and streaming from there?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, a bunch of us. It's gonna be like at least 16 of us.
Wow. So AAA is your team?
Yeah. Yep. The
That's
Adopt an Affiliate family. I mean, we don't have teams on Like we don't have the team on Twitch.
Okay.
They had some reason behind it. I don't remember what Archie was saying, but he had a reason behind that. But we have like our own like group where we're always rating each other
Yep.
and that kind of stuff. So
That is
and
awesome.
it helps to have
Oh, for sure.
friends like that.
For sure. Lex and I are both lucky enough to be part of the Team 9 Lives, which is huge. It's awesome. So, and
Great.
including this channel. So the three of us, I think there's probably over 20. I don't know if it's up to 30 yet. So that's a new thing too. It's been pretty amazing.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So what other shows have you been a guest on? Because you've been on a lot of shows, haven't you?
Well, mainly I've just been on a lot of the Adopt and Affiliate family shows, I think, unless I'm
Oh.
forgetting something else.
So you just like go to different ones. So you're just like a veteran at the whole guest on a other show thing.
So much. I'm collabing all the time. I collab with this guy named Guy Someone Legit. We do a lot of improv comedy. I'll go on Archie's show when he has the Adopt an Affiliate after show. I've been on my girl K Marie's show, which K Marie, myself, and Vlockness. Vlockness was from episode 4, and K Marie was from episode 7, I think. All three of us are actually putting together a like weekly or bi-weekly show. It's like a girls' night, ladies' night thing where we dress up in cosplay, and we're gonna try to have it structured like The Talk, but instead of talking about like celebrity news, we're going to talk about like Twitch news,
Oh, I love it.
and like Twitch, like which streamers hit milestones, who got banned, why they get banned.
Oh, I love it. That
what's
is
the
so
drama.
fun.
Yeah.
So
something
fun.
unique. Because look, is anyone doing that right now? No, they're not.
Oh my
so
gosh.
let's do it.
I love that. I love it. That's fun, Kristi.
Yeah.
Fresh Delivery says to ask you about the roast you were on.
Oh God. Yes, I'll say that too. Also, yes, I see Rose Butterfly. I was also in a Quiplash tournament with a bunch of Jackbox streamers, and that was amazing. That was so freaking cool. There were like 30 of us or something like that, and I mean it lasted like 6 hours, but
wow,
it was a blast. Everybody competed, and we were competing for a gift sub. Like everybody had to gift sub to the winner. So or sub to the winner. So yeah.
Super
that was
cool.
fun. I did not win, but I had a good time.
Wow.
Yeah. What was the other thing? The roast. Oh God. Okay. So I lucked out. I've done some other things off of Twitch. I know some comedian friends who have podcasts, and I was asked to be on one of my friends' podcasts about the 90s, because I'm a 90s kid through and through. And if you can look behind me, I have all 90s stuff, all of the 90s cartoons.
I love it. I see. Walk us through some of those things. Tell us more about those. What do you have?
Let's see, we got this is a real weird one. We got the Angry Beavers. This
Angry
is a Nickelodeon
Beavers.
show.
I don't know that
Yeah,
show.
this is their Halloween episode.
Nice.
So yeah, this is the Angry Beavers.
Okay.
Very random.
Nickelodeon.
It's all Nickelodeon.
Well, no, let's see the Rick. I see Rick and Morty. I know that one. I know SpongeBob.
Yeah, we got Rick and Morty. We got Ren and Stimpy. Let's see, we got Olaf.
Cat Dog.
I don't know if y'all remember Legends of the Hidden Temple, but I have the Shrine of the Silver Monkey that you can put together, just like on the show, for anyone who's
wow.
And of course, my ultimate favorite, my Fozzie Bear, my favorite Muppet of all time.
Wow.
Oh, and a Cynthia doll from Rugrats, a actual, real life Cynthia doll.
Look at that. That's amazing.
This thing is worth like $200.
No way.
It's ridiculous.
No way. Wow. So, are you streaming from? Do you have a dedicated room for this? Is this in your bedroom or what?
No, this is office. I'm actually switching to the other office because that's where my ex used to be, and that room is cooler. It has more airflow. So once I get my new computer, I'm gonna set up in the other room.
So
it's hot in here.
yeah. It gets hot in this place too. I've got A lot of personal lights in here.
Lex, I'll show you my collection.
Yeah, so we're trying to get Lex to Texas. So we have I did my first stream from the Twitch house. I talked to you a little bit about that. So we have a place for her to stay whenever she wants to come. So really all it is just a matter of flight. She was actually going to come this past weekend. But we wanted to make sure that we were able to get the website done and all the stuff that we wanted to do, but she'll be here soon. So I'd like for her to, maybe we can come by and see some of your stuff in person. I don't know though. I don't know if the COVID times will be over by then, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll make it happen.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. But you've been in the Dallas area. Speaking of Dallas, you've been here for most of your life, right?
Correct, yeah. For the majority of my grown-up life from 14 on, yeah.
And how do you like living here?
I like it. I want to change. I will say I did live in LA for a couple years when I was like 28, and that was awesome.
For how long?
2 years.
So from 28 to 30, you were in LA. What was your relationship status? Were you were single, or were you with somebody?
I was single. I did date somebody for like 6 months when I was living there, and that was kind of cool because he had a lot of really awesome connections. His best friend is the guy that animates Cartman's mouth for South Park.
Random. That's cool though. Random, yeah. But how cool is that?
And we would go over to his house every Wednesday. There's some random shit that happened, you guys. We would go over to his house every Wednesday to watch South Park. Yeah. The new South Park episode would air every Wednesday. So we would go over there, and then we would go get hammered at this karaoke bar in Playa del Rey, which is this like beautiful little beach town. Yeah. And we would go to this place called The Shack. I'm not making this up. Like, this sounds like a total lie, and I love it. It sounds like it's out of a movie. We went to The Shack. We would do karaoke. They had free Jell-O shots. Great place. And then also something cool that happened because of that relationship. The house that his best friend lived at that we would go watch those shows at, one of the roommates had a friend that was a music video scout. So so they were scouting locations, and one of their locations just dropped for this Steve Aoki Little John music video. And so they're like, oh, okay, why don't you check out this house? They were like, all right, cool, let's film at this house. And I got the call from my friend, get over here, you're gonna be an extra.
What?
And I was in a Steve Aoki Chitty Bang Little John music video called Emergency because of this freaking just crazy coincidence. So yeah.
Amazing. Life in LA, huh?
Oh yeah, I was on Let's Make a Deal also. I was on with Wayne Brady. I stood right next to Wayne Brady and won a retro kitchen set because I picked curtain number 2.
No way! Is this on YouTube somewhere?
I actually showed it the other day on my stream. I have it on Facebook.
You should totally make it a channel or point redemption for some certain amount of points. You could like show the little video. I bet your community would love it.
Yeah, I never thought about that. I'm writing that down. That is a great idea. I'm seriously writing it down.
Yeah, I love it.
All right. So yeah,
and what other celebrities any other celebrities you've had run-ins with?
Oh, so many. When I lived in LA, I worked off of Rodeo. Well, I had 2 really cool jobs. The first job was a personal assistant job for like a personal injury lawyer. So like the Texas Hammer here. He was like the Texas Hammer in California.
Okay, does every state have a Texas Hammer?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah,
is there an Arizona Hammer?
Law, I don't know, but I mean, he wasn't the Hammer. I don't remember what he called
but
himself.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like Ellis Law or some shit. And I mean, personal injury lawyers are awful. The things they do to try to win cases, and then when they don't win cases, it's bad. Like, that's one of the reasons why I left that job. I did not have the heart for it. You didn't know about the music video? Oh dang! I'll have to show it to you, Fresh. Sorry about that. But yeah, so I worked for this guy, and he was a nut, but he had a freaking mansion off of Manhattan Beach, off the beach. And I worked from mainly from his house. Every now and then I had to work at the office, but because I was his personal assistant, I worked from his house. And his office with the computer, there was glass in front and it just overlooked the ocean. So I literally got to look at the ocean like every day. It was amazing. Random thing, when that really bad Japan earthquake happened back then, I think that was 2010. I had got up at 5 o'clock in the morning because I had to get over to work by 6:30 in the morning. And they were saying that a tsunami was going to hit California. It was going to hit right where I was, Manhattan Beach, LA. And there were surfers everywhere. And I remember sitting at that desk going, oh my God, there's going to be a tsunami. I had my dog with me and everything. I was ready to get my car and drive as fast as I could, even though that wasn't going to help anything. And I remember physically seeing the waves get bigger and bigger, but it was fine. It was just really great surfing weather. Like, it didn't end up being anything alarming, but nuts. Just crazy.
California
so
life,
that was a random thing that had nothing to do with celebrities, but it's
just part of California living, I guess.
Yeah, it was fun. And then let's see, my second job, I worked right next to Rodeo Drive on Camden, which is like, here's Rodeo, here's Camden. And so on my breaks, I would walk Beverly Hills to see if I could see any celebrities, and I saw J-Lo. I shared a elevator with Mike Tyson, and I was way too afraid to say hi. We were right across from the William Morris Entertainment Agency. So our building was. So like, I've seen people in limos get out to go into the agent's building. It's crazy nuts. I'm trying to think. One of my good friends, you guys might know him, but you younger people might know him. His name's Matt Barr. He's actually in a CBS show right now. He's my friend from high school. And I got to hang out with him and like Ashley Tisdale and other people like that because he was on a show with them on the CW. So that's somebody that is just my friend. That's a celebrity. Wow. And then the other people I've met here, I met Jeremy Piven at a comedy show. He's dope.
Jeremy Piven is Ari from Entourage?
Yes. Yeah. He's super cool.
Tell me more about that encounter. What's he like in real life?
This was after he had the whole sexual harassment thing come out. Like he got caught up in the Me Too movement because of some stuff. And so you could definitely, first of all, I don't think stand-up comedy is what he started with. I think it was like I can't get a job anywhere else right now because of this Me Too movement. I'm going to be a stand-up comedian because I'm sorry, it wasn't that. Don't quote me on that. You know how you can hear an actor, like you can hear if an actor is trained to sing or if they're actually a singer? You know what I mean? Like Bradley Cooper was trained to sing, hands down, and you can tell in that movie he was in. That's kind of how Jeremy Piven is with comedy. It's like somebody trained him to, like, I don't even know if he wrote his own material, honestly. And yeah, so he was okay, but he was nice. He was a little standoffish. Definitely you could tell like that Me Too movement hit his ego real bad. Let's see, who else? Pauly Shore.
Sure. Wow. That's so random.
I've had multiple encounters with Pauly Shore. When I was in college, he came because he was doing some show on TBS, and he came to a movie theater for an appearance, and we were there, and I ended up getting a picture with him, which is so cool because I have a picture with him 10 years later also. So it's kind of neat to have two different pictures of my life with him.
What? That's incredible. Wow, your life with Pauly. You have to get another one. Your life, you can just track your life with Pauly Shore.
I'll just call him. I have his number. Like, I'm not lying. I can't show the number, but I do have his number. The reason being is when he was coming into town, it's like 3 years ago, he came into town and they needed somebody to film his sets. So my buddy wasn't available and he knew that I had experience in that. So he's like, hey, can you come out and film Pauly? And I'm like, yes. I'm like, absolutely, I can come film Pauly. Yeah, right. And right before the show, like 30 minutes before the show, somebody comes up to me and they're like, hey, Polly wants you in the dressing room, wants you in the green room. And I'm like, holy all right, here we go. I'm like so nervous. I'm like, I'm about to really have a one-on-one moment with freaking Polly Shore, who I just love from Son-in-Law and Biodome and all of the above. Jury Duty, Encino Man, I could name them all. I've always been, even just him on MTV, like and then his mother, starting the Comedy Store, like. Anyways, so I could go on so many tangents. So anyways, I'm go back there. I'm so nervous. And the owner of the club, I'll say his name, Randy, the owner of the club, he kind of stops me and he's like, where do you think you're going? And I'm like, Polly Shore, because like Polly is very about like nobody comes into his dressing room unless he says so. Into the green room, and I was like, oh, Paul, I'm filming for Polly and he needs me. And he's never really been the biggest fan of me, so because I don't kiss men's asses to get gigs. So anyways, they let me in, and he was like, oh, okay, and kind of gave me a weird sideways look, and then I went in there and he was just telling me like what he wanted from his video, and then we started just talking and shooting the shit, and he was just such a nice guy. I never once mentioned I was a stand-up comedian to him. And he, the second night that I filmed for him at a different location, they had an open mic right after his show. So I was sticking around waiting to get paid by him. And I decided to go up on stage while I was waiting. And as I'm up on stage doing my new jokes, Polly walks out from the green room and is standing watching me, and he's just like has this like shocked look on his face. And so when I got off the stage, he was like, come here. And I was like, what? And he's like, you're a comic? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, why didn't you tell me that? And I was like, I didn't want you to think I was kissing your ass. Like, I wanted you to think I was a professional like camera person. I didn't want you to think that I was like just trying to be around you because I was a stand-up comic. And then he gave me some pointers and we talked a little bit more. It was just awesome. And then me and him and his feature took a picture, and that was it. He gave me his number and his email, and I've been in touch a couple of times trying to like see if we could do like collabs, but he always says no. So
that is an amazing story. Can do you remember your comedy bit that you did that night?
Oh God, I don't remember what I did that night, honestly. I was probably just workshopping material. I probably did the sleep apnea joke. You want me to do my sleep apnea joke?
I'd love to hear your jokes.
Okay. The sleep apnea joke is I hate that my ex-boyfriend always said that he has sleep apnea when I know that he's just lazy. And one night he was sleeping, snoring really loud, and he starts choking, and I'm like, holy crap, he does have sleep apnea. And then I slowly and gently removed the pillow from his face. Smothering.
Oh, that's a good one. I like it. What was his advice? Do you remember his advice?
One of the things that everyone always tells me, stop playing with the mic cord, because I get up there and I start twirling the mic cord in my hand nervously, and I don't even realize I'm doing it. He told me to work on my tempo a little bit better, and not to pace around so much. Other than that, yeah, it was really fun. He's a really, really great guy.
What I would love to hear more about just your life in comedy and stand up if you don't mind, because we've heard a lot about your other life, your Twitch life. Could you tell us a little bit about that, about your comedy life? What's that like?
Well, I'll tell you. I want to tell you this other celebrity encounter.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't mean to interrupt your story.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
It's just another comedy story. I went to go see TJ Miller. I'm a huge TJ Miller fan. I know that he also had some Me Too stuff come out. Not that I don't care, but I don't care. I love TJ Miller. I love TJ Miller. He is so different. He's okay. Like, he had a goal last year. I don't know if he met it. Oh, he definitely didn't because of COVID. But he wanted to he wanted to perform comedy either at an open mic or at a show every single day of the year. He wanted to figure out how he could do comedy every single day of the year, and that was going to be his goal. He always has those weird kind of oddball things. I don't know if you've seen his HBO special, but he's dousing himself with a bottle of water the entire time. He's very prop comedy, which I didn't realize until I went and saw him, and he is hilarious. Like, there was a bit, one of his ending bits, he has this trumpet in a case on stage, and he goes into his ending bit and he's like, hold on, let me put my trumpet together. And he takes all the time in the world to put his trumpet together, right? And he takes his sweet time. He does it very TJ Millery. It's great. And then he goes, all right, I'm going to play you a song with my trumpet or trombone, one of those, right? And I think it's a trombone, that's what it was. With the one that goes like this with the metal thing. Anyways, he goes, I'm going to play you a song on my trombone. This is a song about the state of America right now. So he then lifts the trombone up to his mouth and then quickly turns it around and starts screaming into the back end of it. I died. And then he did it for like a good 30 seconds where he's just like, oh, and then he just takes it apart all calmly. Took his sweet time taking it apart. It was the best bit. It was so funny. You didn't expect it. It's very physical comedy. I got to meet him after the show nice. Because I found out it wasn't being advertised, but I found out that if you buy something, they'll let you meet him. So of course I was like, take my money, like, let's go. Actually, do I have that? A signed CD. I just don't know what I did with it. It's around here somewhere, but I have a signed CD of TJ Miller, and
I'm gonna look up TJ Miller. I don't know who he is. I'm gonna look him up. Maybe I'll recognize him.
Silicon Valley?
I'm a little bit of a loser, so.
Seen Office Christmas Party?
I'm gonna hang on.
You have to know who TJ Miller is. Wait, you haven't seen Silicon Valley? You have to see that. It's a really good show.
This guy is hilarious. Oh yeah, I know him. Oh, yeah, I love this guy. He is fantastic. Yeah. He's really good. Everything he does. The
bartender in Deadpool. Yes, Max Kid.
Yeah, the bartender in Deadpool. Just hearing him. Yeah, that's what I know him from. The most recently, at least. Yeah.
So, I bought a rap CD. It's the most ridiculous thing in the world. And I love it. I'm glad that I own it. We go backstage and we're waiting. Not backstage. We go back into the showroom because nobody's in there, and we're waiting. And finally, it gets to my turn, and my ex kind of set it up beautifully. He was like, "Hey, she's a comedian too," because he knows I would have never done that. And it was so neat because he went from signing fan autograph mode, and he softened up immediately, and he was just like, "Oh, you're a comic?" And me and him just started like talking, and it was amazing. And then my ex goes, "Yeah, she fell off this stage a week ago," and I did. I had fallen off of the Hyena stage a week prior. The reason being, I had just done a show at the Arlington Improv. It was not a great show for me. It just wasn't. None of my shit was hitting. It just wasn't a good show for me. So I looked at my ex and I was like, "Hey, dude, can we go hit Hyenas really fast? Let's see if we can go hit Hyenas really fast." He's like, "Okay, cool." So we go to Hyenas. I get on about 4th block, which is like 1:00 in the morning. I go up the stairs. I do my routine. I have my ukulele. I'm playing. It's over there. I'm playing my inappropriate song. It's a parody to "Should I Stay or Should I Go?" I won't tell you what it is on air, but I can later. It's very dirty.
I don't care. It's up to you. It's up, I mean, I don't. It's up. Okay. It's only
I don't care. I do it on stage all the time. It's called First Date Dilemma, but basically instead of "Should I Stay or Should I Go?" it's "Should I Fuck or Should I Blow?" It's beautiful. The whole song is about like she's on the date. She's like, "What should I do?" And yeah, that's That's my closing bit. And so anyways, I do my thing. I go to leave the stage, and the stairs, I didn't notice when I was going up.
Yeah.
The stairs have always been at the end of the stage. And so I'm at the edge of the stage, like I always am, exiting the stage, but the stairs had been moved over a little bit, so I don't notice, and I step off the stage thinking the stairs are there. They're not. I land on my right knee, and my ukulele hits the ground, and you hear this little down, like the strings, just people immediately go, and I immediately shoot up and stand up, and I'm like, hey guys, I'm okay. I promise I'm okay.
You didn't hurt?
Huh?
You didn't get hurt?
No, I was hurt. But I didn't show it. I immediately got up and I was like, I'm fine. The ukulele's fine. And I'm walking, and my ex goes, hey, I'm surprised you didn't hurt yourself. And I was like, I'm hurting so bad right now. We gotta get out of here so I can actually show it. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, can you help me out of here, please?
How bad were you hurt?
It wasn't bad.
Okay.
I never went to the doctor or anything,
good.
but man, the front of my knee was sore for like 3 months, and sometimes I have a weird popping. So I'm pretty sure I screwed up some cartilage or something.
Man.
I've torn my ACL in the other knee, so I knew it wasn't like horribly bad, but it wasn't good either.
I feel you. I've had both ACLs torn, and when you do it. So I tore my first one when I was 17, and I knew when I did it. Like I knew it, because I was playing basketball. I came down for a rebound and twisted, and then tried to walk it off, and I was like, "Oh, this is fine. Yeah, I'm good. And then I went and I played back, and then immediately, like as soon as I cut, fell down again. Same thing. I was like, "Oh shit, this is bad." And so I knew right then. And then so I had the surgery. Blah blah blah. Fast forward 10 years later, I'm playing basketball freaking again at work this time. And I go to cut, same thing, boom, twist, down, and I knew it. I said, oh, I'm gonna need surgery on this, but let's go ahead and finish this game because I know I just can't cut. And everybody was freaking out, like, who are you? Like, you're just gonna play this game? I was like, yeah, I know what happened. I could walk this off. I know that as long as I don't do this, it's gonna be fine. I just can't cut in a certain way, and I'll be and then sure enough, I had to have the surgery, and that was a little bit legendary. People were like, fucking guy says he has to have surgery, but I'll just play anyways, and then he does. It's like, man. But anyways, that's my ACL surgeries. All that to say, I feel your knee pain. I do.
Yeah.
So it sucks, man. The weather, you totally feel it back, all that stuff.
You really do.
You're younger than me, so I'm here to tell you that stuff
that's
stuff that they talk about. I know those old people who always told you getting old is hard on you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you lose your memory and you can't remember stuff.
Oh.
And technology's harder, like all this stuff. So, you know what? But hey, it's also pretty awesome getting older too. Beats the alternative, right?
I think you and I are fine when it comes to technology and aging, just because we've put ourselves in, we have hobbies or careers in the area where we're always going to have to try and learn the new stuff. You know what I mean? I'm surprised I've kept up so well. When I wasn't editing, I was starting to get real dumb with new technology. And so when I moved to editing, and I was like, oh, okay, I get computers now. This is great.
Yeah, exactly. It definitely helps. But there's one. Go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry. Real quick, the TJ Miller story.
Yeah.
So my ex goes, hey, you just fell off this stage.
Yeah.
And he goes, what? And so I told him the story, and he's signing the CD. And on the CD, he says, walk softly and carry a strong ukulele. And that's what the front of my CD is, signed by TJ Miller. So he was a great guy. He told me to keep at it, and then hopefully one day we would meet paths again. So I really hope so. I would love to work with that guy.
How cool is that?
TJ Miller.
How cool is that? Man, you have some amazing stories, Kristi. And we haven't even gotten to the big one. The only one I knew about coming into this show, you haven't even hinted at, which I find...
What?
Kevin Smith?
What part?
Kevin Smith.
Oh my God, I haven't said anything about Kevin Smith.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. How did that slip?
That's the only one I knew about. Yeah.
My mind. Here's my other toys. I have a lot of Jay and Silent Bob toys, if you guys are familiar.
So of course, Kevin Smith is a producer. What is a director? What does he do? So I
Director.
know him. He's a director, and what all has he directed? Fill in the people
Uh,
who don't know.
okay, so Kevin Smith is a director, and he also plays Silent Bob. He's a writer as well. And he created many movies.
And what was his
And
first
Jay and
movie?
Silent Bob came out of those movies as an epic stoner duo. And I just can't say no to an epic stoner duo. So basically, he's done Clerks, Clerks 2, Mallrats, which was the first movie. I saw Mallrats for the first time when I was 16, and I was hooked.
Yeah.
And let me
that'll
tell
do
you,
it.
I rewatched Mallrats, and
Still good.
it is still
Holds
so
up.
good. Like, oh, it's so good. It
Holds
holds up so well.
Yeah.
It's with freaking Jason Lee and like
Mm.
Ben Affleck before he was Ben Affleck. Like, if you have not seen Mallrats, please do yourself a favor. Go see Mallrats. It's hilarious because most of the people in that movie still have careers to this day, which is really cool.
Yeah. What was his
They're
one about
actually
the
about to
cat?
film another Mallrats, and it's going to be at a mall in Louisiana, and I'm going to try to go out there and become an extra, if not try to be a featured extra. So yeah, the hair helps a lot to stand out for sure. But yeah, anyways, long story short, he's done Dogma.
Dogma was the one I'm thinking. I love Dogma so
Yeah.
much, and I have a Jesus Loves Four Whiters shirt, and I wanted to put his Dogma Jesus thumbs up on there, and it says Jesus Loves Four Whiters with that guy, but I was a little bit worried about copyright. But I have a shirt that I really wanted to put that on because I do love that movie so much, and Ben Affleck is in that one too.
I made a meme with the Buddy Jesus,
Yeah,
and then
Buddy
I put
Jesus.
a rabbit head on top of Jesus's face, and I made an Easter meme, and I said "Happy Easter from Bunny Jesus," and it was just like this bunny with the little finger guns. It was great. Yeah, I love Dogma. Red State.
So that's who he is. Now,
Husk.
how the hell did
Yeah.
you meet him? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, I'm gonna try to not make this crazy long. The first time I ever saw him in person was in LA. My friends, for my year anniversary of living in LA, bought me tickets to see Red State, which was his like thriller kind of movie, his dream movie he always wanted to make. Great movie. I loved it. It had John Goodman in it. We went to this little theater. We got second row. He comes out, he introduces the movie, we watch the movie, and then he does this 2-hour Q&A afterwards. And I'm just in awe because he's standing right in front of me. And the entire time, all he's doing is talking about follow your dreams. I was once just this lazy, like this fat guy in Jersey, and then I decided to write a script and make a movie, and boom, hit me now. Anyone can do it. You can do it. If you want to do it, just put the work into it, and you can. And he's really the reason why, I follow my dreams. So that was the first time I saw him. Then I saw him a second time here in Dallas. He came just to talk. It was an evening with Kevin Smith.
Wow.
And the entire time, yet again, he's talking about, following your dreams and blah, blah, blah. And that literally the next day I quit my job and I became a video editor. I got a video editor intern. I found a video editor internship that actually accepted non-students. And that is how I learned how to edit video.
Incredible.
And graphic design and all of that. Just nuts. Thank you, Kevin Smith. And then the third time, both times, by the way, I tried so hard to find a way to meet him, and I didn't get a chance to meet him, and it sucked. But the third time, I found out about the Kevin Smith fan club. I went, of course, and I subscribed immediately. Take my money. I've been subscribed ever since. I don't think I do a damn thing in it, barely. At the beginning, I did. I wake up one morning, and I look at my phone, and it says, Ask Kevin Anything starts in 30 minutes. And I'm like, what is this? And it's this Discord meeting that's only for Kevin Smith fan club members. And he's coming on and they're going to pick people to talk to him. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going to get picked. But you know what? I better go get ready really fast. So I freaking I get ready. I just woke up. I quickly threw on a little bit of makeup and here I am just waiting. And I'm like, all right, I'm ready. let's hope that this works out, you
Hmm.
know. And I'm there for about an hour, and then all of a sudden in my headphones, I hear this guy go, "Hey, so we'd like to put you in the queue. You know, there haven't been a lot of girls, so we want to get some more girls up there. And your pink hair just stood out to me." And I'm like, "Yes,
Oh,
pink hair for the win again!" I'm telling you, this is great. I will. It's not the reason why I did it, but man, I will never change it. Because you get more
yeah,
opportunities. You stand out as long
yeah,
as you have the personality to match it.
right.
And so yeah, I it's great. I'm waiting in the queue, right? And then he comes in, the producer, and he's like, "Hey, so we don't know if we're going to be able to get to you in time because we don't know if we're going to get to you in time because Kevin's got another thing to go to, but
Yeah,
hopefully we'll be able to get you in." And I'm like,
yeah.
"Oh, okay, cool." And I'm like, "Oh man, just my luck, right? He's going to freaking leave. I'm not even be able to talk to him." And literally like 2 minutes later, all of a sudden, "You're on with Kevin." And I'm
Oh
like,
my
"Wait, what?"
gosh.
I
Oh
didn't
my
even
gosh.
know if it was happening or not. And then they just tell me, "You're on with Kevin." And I'm staring Kevin Smith
Jesus.
right in front of me on my screen. I'm sitting at my computer. I'm like, "Holy shit." And I'm like, hi. I was like, I cannot believe this is finally happening. And I talked to him about, like, what are your plans? Because you're stuck in the house with COVID. Like, how as an entertainer, or how as a director, other than like writing, how are you getting through this and still building up your business and still creating stuff, And so he went through a couple things that he had in the works, and what he was trying to do to still have balls rolling while COVID was going on. And then I was like, "Hey man, will you check out my comedy troupe?" I can't believe I
You
asked.
did it?
Yeah,
Amazing.
I asked him. I was like, "Man, will you?"
Look at
It would
you.
mean the world to us. Like, literally, dude, I created this comedy troupe because I went and saw you tell me to follow my dreams a million freaking times, and literally every time I take a leap, I think of the freaking words you told me. So can you check it out, because literally that exists because I've seen you talk so many times. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll definitely check it out. I'll probably be taking a shit." And I'm like, "Hey, that's even better. I don't care. You could be freaking vomiting and have the freaking phone on the counter. I don't give a shit. Just look at it, and even if I don't hear anything again, I got to tell you that. Whatever."
Yeah. That's awesome.
And yeah, so that it was great. He was so nice. Kevin is one of the
Wow.
most amazing people in the world. Absolutely. He's one of those guys that just wants to help everybody, like he's a good guy.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, that's my Kevin
Congratulations,
Smith
man.
story.
Three
Thank
of them, and you nailed it. You nailed all of them. Wow. So, what about, are there any celebrities that you wish you could meet?
Well, there's one that I won't ever be able to meet, but I wish I could have met, which is Robin Williams. That sucks. I always wanted to work with Robin Williams. That man is definitely like an idol of mine. Celebrities that I would love to meet. I would love to meet Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Hands down. I would love to meet Jim Carrey. I would love to meet, gosh, any SNL star.
Okay, Line Piece Lex has met Robin Williams. Lex, do you want to jump on? Even
Oh
if
my
that's crazy.
gosh.
We can tell us later. That's crazy.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous. That's amazing. I hope he wasn't a dick or drunk.
Well,
I hope it wasn't during his alcoholic phase.
She did say Kevin Smith is her man crush, so maybe y'all can swap man crush stories. Oh man. And what else?
I'm trying to think if there's... I mean, there's definitely... God, I haven't thought about that in a while. Jai Courtney is somebody that I would love to meet because I want to marry him one day. I don't know if you know who Jai Courtney is.
I'm gonna look him up. How do you spell it? Jai?
I can go get my life-size Jai Courtney cut out. It's Jai. Jai, and then Courtney. C-O-U-R.
So the second thing that comes up is wife. So maybe you should...
No! He got married. I was hoping they'd break up.
Let's see. Jai Courtney wife. Okay, he's from Divergent.
No. He's
is he
from
married?
Divergent. He's from Suicide Squad.
Okay.
He's from he played the son of Bruce Willis in the last Die Hard movie that they did.
Yes.
And then he was also in Terminator with Khaleesi, Emilia Clarke.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got it. Yeah,
he's an action star for sure.
I know him.
He's an Aussie.
Those Aussies.
I love
Man,
him. But,
anything with an accent, right?
Yes.
Those accents are great. Okay, so we got 2 more subjects here I want to get to. Actually, I have 3 more subjects. Do you have time? Are you doing okay?
Oh, dude.
Okay, so I have 3 subjects here, and I'm fascinated in all of them. Let's start with the one that I find least interesting in these 3, but they're all interesting. Is your move to Austin. You're moving to Austin. That's exciting. Austin's cool. Tell us about that.
Oh my goodness. So me and my dad, we are ready for a change. I'm trying to figure out how to get into the story. Basically, my mom passed away 2 years ago.
Sorry.
It's okay. It sucks, but you know what? I think I got the hardest thing out of the way, which is an awful way to think of that. I honestly, it sucks. But I've had 2 years to really, really reflect. Therapy has been a great thing. If you go through anything hard in life, my biggest recommendation, therapy's awesome.
I agree.
Because I'm a much stronger person now, and plus adversity prepares you for the bigger world out there. And
that's a good message. That's good. That is important.
We don't have control over everything in life, and to be able to ride out this crazy wave of life, you have to roll with the punches. And even though some of them are devastating, you get through it. So yeah, me and my dad, we've finally gotten to the point where I think we're okay with selling the house that I've been in since I was 14, like that we grew up in and all that, and we're gonna move to Austin. We want a fresh start. Austin is kicking for comedy. Joe Rogan has moved his whole entertainment company down there. I have a buddy that I met through that South Park guy that is Rogan's secondhand guy, Brian Redband, if you guys are familiar with any Death Squad comics. Tony Hinchcliffe used to have his Kill Tony podcast, which is this really cool podcast. They allow a comedian, or they pull names out of a hat, and then the comedian has 1 minute to do stand-up, and if you're bad, they're just gonna rail on you and talk crap about you for the next freaking 15 minutes. But if you're good, then they're gonna ask you more questions.
Oh my gosh,
and then you might be asked back, because they would do this every week at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
The reason why I bring this up is because Tony's moved to Austin now, and they're doing a weekly Kill Tony at a club off of 6th Street. And this is something that they've come into town a couple of times, because they do travel with their show as well. And I've tried to get on and I haven't been able to. So that is something I definitely want to do, is get on Kill Tony. I want to I've met Tony Hinchcliffe twice, I think, but I never really made an impression. So it's not like he's going to remember me. And he's but yeah, they moved down there, so that's a really good thing for us, for me, not really for my dad. We're gonna get a house hopefully by the lake. And
which lake? Do you know which lake?
Hopefully Lake Travis. I know it's kind of hard. That dude, with Tesla moving over there too, houses are freaking being like, I'm sitting there going, Dad, we're gonna miss out, bro.
I know, Austin's. I love Austin, but it's a bit expensive compared to Dallas. But you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
Oh, I'm so ready. We're so excited. And I'm excited because not only is the comedy game strong there, but all of a ton of the big streamers I mentioned earlier. I don't know if Casey Tron lives in Austin, but I know Gondok does. Ms. Kiff, for all you people who know the bigger streamers, Gondok, Ms. Kiff, so many others that I can't even think off the top of my head, all live in Austin.
Wow.
So, and I have a friend from AAA who lives in Austin that knows all of them. So he's ready to introduce me, and I'm gonna have to lie and say I'm 26, because all of these freaking people that I'm mentioning are 20 to 24. So
You are 26, aren't you?
yeah, I'm 26.
You got me. I would not doubt
Add
it for a
10,
moment.
add 10 onto that.
I wouldn't
And that's
doubt it.
why I said I'm not that younger than you. Or I'm not that, you're not that older than me. It's because I am right next to your age.
You got it nailed. You've got the
26.
26-year-old down to a science.
Yeah.
Keep doing what
Everyone
you do.
tells me I look 26, so I'm like, fine, I'm 26.
Yeah,
But
26.
yeah.
26 it out. 26 it out.
So I'm really
Exciting.
excited to move to Austin in the summer. And then one of my best friends who moved away from here because her husband works for Tesla and they moved to Reno. They're now moving to Austin because he's going to work for the Tesla plant down there. So it's like everything's coming together.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very excited about that.
Well, hopefully we can get together in person before you leave. If not, a good excuse to come to Austin because my mom lives. Thank you. Holy oh my god, we got rated with 30 viewers. Mr. 9 Lives, thank you so much. Let me turn my lights on for this.
Thank you, Mr. Nine Lives.
So, Kristi, earlier we were talking about teams, remember? Mr. 9 Lives is my team lead. I'm on Team 9 Lives. So, he is the leader of our team. So, he is the leader of this show and the Daddy-O TV show and the Line Piece Lex. So, Lex, you can please give him a shout out if you don't mind, or actually I can do it. So everybody who's here, please go give 9 Lives a follow.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for that,
Thank
Mr.
you so much for the raid.
Yeah, he was also episode number 1, very first episode of the show was him. So yeah, so that was so fun. So thank you so much for the follow, everybody.
What's up, Mountain Dew? How are you?
Next up is let's talk about your future plans for your stream. What's up next?
Basically falls right into it. So I'm still going to occasionally play the chat games. I'll have my specific days depending on the schedule ahead. But I fell in love with IRL streaming, which is in real life streaming. They're the crazy people that walk around with a selfie stick and a little Sony cam or a GoPro cam at the end of it, tethered to a backpack.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at a phone, talking to themselves, you would think, but they're really talking to chat. So
I love this so much. I cannot. I kind of want to know. I kind of want to do this. So please dive deep. Tell me about it. Like, what? You were a regular, like I would say regular, like a desktop streamer is how I'd put it. Like, what was that transition like?
It is totally different. You know, I got a chance to use the professional setup because Archie, when we went to Vegas, Archie had the live view setup. It's basically like having a very, very strong Wi-Fi connection with you everywhere.
Okay.
Or a very strong internet connection with you everywhere. It runs off of 2 modems from different carriers. So then that way, if AT&T is crap, hopefully Verizon isn't. And you can stay online wherever you go, even driving cross country.
Wow.
So yeah, I went on this trip with them. I got to walk the strip and stream. I got to stream around the suites. Holding the selfie stick is very hard because you kind of have to hold it with your wrists like turned, so that if you want to show anything, you can do it without having to reposition your hands, because that's not really good visual for your chat. Walking with it is very interesting. I kind of want to get like a selfie stick gimbal, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 questions. One,
yes.
How do you deal with like what? Okay, so like, you have OBS when you're in front of your camera, right? So you have all these overlays and blah blah blah. Are you just literally going on your phone and just hitting go live? Is that what it is? Okay, you dropped off for a second. We lost your audio. Oh, there you go. You're back. You're back. There you go. You're back.
No, you can, and I've done that. I went to the nature preserve, and I had my cell phone, and I ran it off of just my regular internet carrier. I had it on my selfie stick, and we went off. I used the Stream Elements streaming app. It used most of my they have a and it's in testing, so there's still some glitches and stuff, but the Stream Elements streaming app was pretty awesome. It it adds those overlays on top, which was really cool. You can have your own little overlay for your mobile stream.
Cool.
So that was neat. But I like the way that they do it. You are linked to a 4 letters that I don't remember. I think one of them's P or H server. Maybe there's an R in there too. I don't know. RTMP RPH LMNOP. Anyway, so
a technical server.
It's a server
Yeah.
that I guess is ran by Synapse, and you contact that person and they get you all hooked up. So you literally have it attached to your computer at home. It's connected through the server, and you have either somebody in your chat or you can do commands in the Twitch chat that will change it from, like, say you're live and DMCA music comes on, because that is a really big deal. And it's getting to the point where they're going to start like banning people on the spot if they're using DMCA music. So we had a thing where when we were on the strip, which plays DMCA music everywhere, we would switch to a scene that was still us, but it was just like royalty-free music underneath.
Wow.
And just by typing a command in Twitch, it would switch to that scene. If you lose connection, you can type in there to switch to the Be Right Back scene, which is basically like a 20-minute video of other clips that you have.
Right.
Which I'm sure you've seen on if you've watched any IRL streamers before.
Right.
But yeah, it's all connected to your computer and OBS and all of that because of the live view. And yeah, I only use my cell phone for chat. I will be using a Sony Action Cam because I like that one better than the GoPro.
How long did that take you to get from deciding, okay, this is something that I think I might want to do, to feeling pretty legit with it?
About 2 months, really. I've thought on and off about it for a really long time, because to invest in a live view backpack, it is extremely expensive. It's definitely an investment that I'm going to be working my butt off to hope that it pays me back. But being in the AAA family, having people like Archie and Thy Other Side, who both that I met in Vegas both had live view backpacks, seeing what they were doing, seeing that they had no fear and put themselves out there and was ready to just showcase their lives. That was something I've always been interested in, that since I was younger. I always used to be like, oh my god, we need a reality TV show. You know, and so and there's another guy, Cash Meow, who won episode 1 of Andy Milanakis' show, Adopt an Affiliate, for those who just came in. He used to play Rainbow Six Siege, I might have said that wrong, all the time for like 20-30 hours in a row, and then he'd like sleep and then he'd do it again. And Andy was like, what are you doing? Why aren't you live streaming? You're in Japan. This guy lives in Japan, and he's like, you live in Tokyo, you need to be live streaming. So next day he goes, he buys the gear. Now he gets anywhere from, he made partner, and he gets anywhere from 200 to 500 viewers all the time. Because people want to see that. For me, I don't feel like that many people want to see Dallas.
Austin, they might have
Austin.
Better luck.
So I have to think outside the box a little bit. I have been looking for ways to branch my Twitch stream and my comedy together. And so with this live streaming, I want to live stream the behind the scenes of a stand-up comedian. I am going to go to open mics. I'm going to, like, I'm going to do the thing of the DMCA thing where if anyone is on stage telling a joke, music is underneath. You're not hearing that person's joke, because comics are very, very sensitive about that. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of crap for having a camera at an open mic, but it'll be a little bit of a learning curve. I'm going to have to get a lot of clearance from people. But I'm so excited. I want to branch that together. I want to show the behind the scenes of stand-up comedy. I'm also going to do things where, you know, once COVID lifts a little bit, if there's a crowded event, like say there's like a cheese festival, I'm gonna go to that cheese festival dressed as a cow or something. And I'm gonna do some weird stuff, and we're gonna live stream it, you know. if somebody donates a certain amount of bits, I'll have to drop and do 10 push-ups, or I'll have to go up to the next stranger and booty dance on them. I don't know. There's so much that you can do. And it's pretty much making an ass out of yourself in public. I'm really good at that. So if you want to pay me to do that, I'm in. Like,
Kristi, you sound like you're fun to hang out with.
I'm a ridiculous hot mess, and I love it.
Man, okay.
Have you seen my twerking video from Vegas? Literally the only highlight video I put together, and it didn't even mean to make it a twerking video, but when I looked at all the clips, I was like, this has to be a twerking video. And I literally, me or somebody else twerks like 5 or 6 different times in this video. It's great, like wall twerking, like we're upside down. It's nuts.
I'm embarrassed to say I haven't seen it. I wish I had. I'm embarrassed, so we'll just leave it at that. Yeah, I should have seen that. That's amazing. I feel like I'm missing out over here.
Yeah.
Man.
I'll show it to you later.
This open mic thing, it sounds amazing. So like, I kind of like think it might be kind of funny, Kristi. I've been telling people for a long time I think I'm funny. Maybe I should try it. I don't know. But I like the idea of when you were talking about if you go for a minute and then if they don't like you, they kick you off. Like, to me, that sounds amazing because you're getting real feedback. What I'm a little bit like, I want somebody to like harshly say like, "Nah, it fucking kind of sucks," or like, "Oh yeah, it could be good if you did this," rather than like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you're not getting the advice that you need because the relationships that you're in make it difficult for people to give you the advice that you need. So the
worst thing you can do is run your jokes by your significant other because they're too close to the material, and you're not ever going to be able to give that material a fair shot. Everything needs to be workshopped,
Yeah.
Please don't be one of those people. If you ever try it, don't go up on stage and wing it.
Yeah.
I think you're talented and smart enough that you could write some stuff down, and even if you don't have the structure or you think something has some potential, then go up and do it. You know what I mean? Because I think it'd be awesome.